Hi, I'm Megan, aka Burned with Glorious Cosplay. I really need to come up with a better intro. Welcome to the second edition of Cosplay 101. Today's video is not just a cosplay skill, but something that I think is a really good life skill in general, and that is sewing on buttons. This isn't just something that cosplayers making their own clothing pieces will find helpful, but just regular person who wants to fix their favorite shirt that lost a button. So let's get to it. So normally you would want to have, unless you're doing an accent button, you would want to have your fabric, thread, and button all match each other. But seeing as I'm doing this as a tutorial, I have decided to use my biggest button and very contrasting thread so that it's easier for you guys to see. So first of all, you're going to want to mark where your button is going to be. What I normally do is I will line up the buttonhole side on top of the side where the buttons will be. I'm just gonna mark it on here like this, just as an example. And then once I have it lined up, I will stick my pencil right in the center of the buttonhole and I'll make a little mark. Then you prep your thread and it's time to go. Now I'm using a 4-hole button. This I found is usually the standard in bought clothes and is one of the more frequently used buttons. And because it's a slightly more complicated button to sew on, I figured it's a good one to start with for this tutorial. And I also find that if you know how to sew on a 4-hole button, then you can pretty easily figure out how to sew on a 2-hole button when you need it. So you want to line up your button on top of the marking that you made. And this is not going how I thought already. And then you will stick your needle through the back of the fabric, through the first hole, pull it tight. And then you will go the hole that is to the right of that hole and put it through the top. Then you will go from the back again through the left hole, and then back down through the right hole. Basically, you're just making it nice and sturdy. You do this a few different times. And you will want to end with your needle on the top side through the left hole. Now it is time to tackle the lower holes. So you've already got your top holes and your needle is up through the front of the fabric. So you're going to go diagonally to the bottom right hole. And then you're just going to do like you did on the top row and go backwards. Go up through the back of the fabric through the left hole, then down through the right hole, then back up, and then once again wanting to end with your needle up the front. And then for security's sake, you're going to do all that again. You're going to diagonal to the top right hole and do another pass, maybe just one, depends on how many times you went through the first time. You can diagonal again. You just want to make sure it's real secure so you don't have to keep sewing it back on every 3 months. And then you want to finish with your needle going through the back. And then you'll be finishing it off like you'd finish off any hand sewing, which since this is a Cosplay 101, I will show you how to do that. So you have your needle and thread through the back side of the fabric. It's not the prettiest back here, but it is the back side. And you're gonna stab it through, catch a little bit of fabric, stab it through like where there's some thread as well. And then you're going to take your thread in a loop it over, pull it through in a knot. Then you're gonna repeat that, attempting to get it in approximately the same spot, which I never am able to do very well, but it's good enough. You're gonna want to do that. I usually do 3, unless I get like really lucky with my placement, but I normally don't. So 3 little knots. Then you can cut it off, and ta-da! Your button is attached. If you have any questions about sewing on buttons, go ahead and leave them in the comments. You can also suggest future Cosplay 101 videos. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more tutorials and other cosplay shenanigans in the future, be sure to like and subscribe, and you can also follow me on other social media down in the description. As always, my videos come out every other week, so see you then, and thanks for watching!